Monsters gnash and goblins cling. Every house we're diving in. Knock, knock, open the door. Give us candy, we want more. Knock, knock, open the door. Give us candy, we want more. Witches cackle, bats take flight. Filling up our bags tonight. Skeletons dance in the moonlight. Every stomp is full of fright. Ghosts and ghouls in every nook. Look at all the treats we took. Underneath the stars we shook. Nights alive, go take a look. Crisp leaves clutch beneath our feet. Filling up with candy, oh so sweet. Halloween's rhythm can't be beat. Now we dance to the spooky beat. Monsters gnash and goblins scream. Every house we're diving in. Knock, knock, open the door. Give us candy, we want more. Knock, knock, open the door. Give us candy, we want more. Night fades fast, but we hold tight. To memories of this Halloween night. Night fades fast, but we hold tight. To memories of this Halloween night. I crept up close, so quiet and small. You didn't see me, nope, not at all. With a jump and a shout, I gave you a fright. I scared you so good, you jumped out of sight. I scared you, oh what a thrill. You jumped like a cat, I gave you a chill. I scared you, your face went white. Oh boy, I scared you, I did it just right. I was hiding in the hallway, crouched down low. You were walking by, going real slow. Then I jumped out fast with a big loud whoa. Should've seen your face, it was funny too. I scared you, you screamed so loud. I'm so sneaky, I feel so proud. Your hands went up, you spun around. I scared you so bad, you almost hit the ground. I did so close,
Do not come.
my plan was perfect. Oh,
Do not come.
I scared you, I did it, made you jump so high. It made me laugh so hard, I almost cried. I scared you, you're out of breath. That was the best scare I've done yet. Your eyes went wide, you shook in place. I'm the scared champion, you can't keep pace. I'm the best scarer, no one compares. I've got ninja skills, I'll catch you unawares. You can't see me, I'm too quick to spy. I'll sneak right up, ooh, oh my. I scared you tomorrow, you just wait. You can try to hide, but it'll be too late. I'm a scare machine, it's what I do. Next time I'll get you with something new. I was hiding in the hallway, crouched down low. You were walking by, going real slow. Then I scared you, gave you a fright. I'm gonna do it again, watch out tonight. The Scare King's here, better be on guard. Cause scaring you silly, well, it's not that hard. Scare King's here, better be on guard. Cause scaring you silly, well, it's not that hard. Chesters creaking, crawling close on the street. One night wonder sneaking swiftly, can you gum and chocolates in his patches. Patch, 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 patch. One eye gleaming in the night. Filling his paws with all the light. Light, light, light. He's the king of the street. Stealing trees, can't eat. Candy coated paws, so sweet. Chester's trick is oh so neat. Pumpkin buckets filled to brim, rim, 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 rim. Chester dives in on a whim. Im. Licorice lollipops and more. Or. Every quarter's a candy score. Or. One-eyed wonder, slide and slip. Halloween night, he's the pick. Candy bags beware the hand and Chester sneaking, oh so grand and one eye sees it all, no doubt. Out. With a smirk, he twists about. Out. Candy trail follows where he goes. Ooze. Stealing sweets, that's how it flows. Ooze. He's the king of the street. Stealing trees, can't eat. Candy coated paws, so sweet. Chester's trick is oh so neat. Buster hides as the night fades away. Candy stash safe for another day. One last grab, then off he flies. Lies. In the moonlight, no goodbyes. Buys. He's the king of the street. Stealing trees, can't eat. Candy coated paws, so sweet. Chester's trick is oh so neat.
Glad they showed up right at the beginning of the stream. We were able to ban them real quick. The bots seem a little out of control lately, but that, who cares? I can get rid of them real quick. What's going on, kitty? Nothing's going wrong. Just needed to get rid of somebody real quick. Hi, how are you? Are you ready to play some more power washing sim? Are you ready to do this? Are you ready to do one more power washing sim before before spooky month? Super spooky. Let's go upstairs. Sounds nice and relaxing. I'm glad to hear it, kitty. You know what's not relaxing? Actually, it is a little relaxing, I guess. We gotta do some Wordle. That's not Wordle. We gotta do some Wordle. I think our word we're going to start with today is going to be power. Power is going to be our first word. I know that the chat is doubled up. It's okay. Don't worry about that. Ooh, okay. It could be literally anything. I need something other than them, please. That'll work. Like watching Bob Ross paint. We could do a Bob Ross paint stream at some point. I'm not sure when that's going to be. Not sure why that song decided to stop. Whatever, who cares? How about, what other words can we do? Burger? No. Miner. Like with who goes down into the mines to dig it, to diggy mines. All right. It could be Tyler. It could be cider. It could be cider. That is a Wordle word if I've ever heard one. If it's not cider, I'd eat my hat. I'm not gonna actually eat my hat, but that feels like a Wordle word. Oh, so close. But we did get the D. Can you get fucked, please? Jesus Christ. Could you go touch grass and stop trying to make bots? Fucking losers. Holy shit. It's gonna be cider? Could it be guider? Hider, maybe. Viter, cider? It's either hider or cider. I'm gonna go with hider. It's not hider. Damn it. Could it be... What could it be other than cider? Could it be lighter, jiter? It's gotta be cider, right? Really? What? Rider. It's Rider. Oh, it's so Rider. Yep, there it is. Okay. Whew. That one sucked. Okay, let me send that to the group list real quick. Oof. I saw a couple people in the team chat not get this one today. My first 6 in a long time. How are you, kitty? Wordle. Oof. That word sucked. Let's see if we do a little better in Swirtle. We gotta start with the old classic. Dung. Is it dung? Not dung. How about... cock? Excuse me? Yeah, there we go. Ooh. Could it be... Could it be blow? Oh, what could it be? Plow? It couldn't be plow. I didn't push M. Not M. Your favorite guess? What? Cock? I didn't do cock last time. I did the other word that I didn't want to just scream out loud real quick. What else could it be? Could it be flog? No, it couldn't be flog. Plot? No. Slob? No. Slop? Could it be slop? It could be slop. It was... Excuse me. I never would have guessed plop. I beg pardon. I never in a million years would have guessed that it was plop. I got real close. Again, I got 3 out of 4. That's not too bad, I guess. I could certainly do worse. Oh, my goodness. Oh, are we ready? Let's do this. We're going to do a recreational vehicle. Hold on. Let me turn on the actual the actual music real fast. There we go. I'm going to do a random sound effect. Watch your ears. I get it. I get where they're going with plop, but I wouldn't have guessed that one. We're going to clean a recreational vehicle today. Doc, we'd like you to meet our trusty RV. Before we settled down at Esther's, we traveled around the country, chasing mysteries, doing odd jobs, just bumbling around, really. One day we might be deep in the wood, the next we are traveling at breakneck speeds along country roads, evading the authorities, all of which has taken its toll on the poor RV. Please give her the clean she deserves to reclaim her crown as queen of the open road. Nothing you're going to do will accomplish the goal of making this crap-ass RV you're providing here the queen of the open road. But I'll do my best. I'll do God's work here, and I'll make this bad boy shine as best as I could possibly do. Well, here's to hoping. Just wanted to say how grateful Jenny and I are for everything you've done for us. It's really helped us get on our feet. I don't know who you are. I have no idea who you are, ma'am. It sounds silly, but washing the house when no one else would made such a difference. And as for the car, ma'am, you are just a paycheck to me. I'm sorry. You are under the mistaken impression that we are friends. I run a power washing business. We, I do like this. I'm gonna get rid of it. That's adorable. I'm gonna get rid of the artwork. Really making my job hard for me when you're doing it in permanent indelible ink. But you know what? God bless you. You're just teenagers. Although, frankly, I don't know if a lot of teenagers these days own RVs. I don't know if anybody these days own RVs. They're not really economical, you know? They're not really gas efficient. Although I guess if you lived in it and it was also your house payment, maybe you could make, you know, an RV wouldn't be so bad. And I'm not trying, excuse me, I'm not trying to dog RVs by any stretch. I just don't know if, you know, I kind of feel like maybe the glory days of RVs might be behind them. Am I wrong? Possibly. It's been known to happen. You can think of a couple of people we know. Yeah, they're not in them anymore, Kitty. So I mean, like, I like they aren't, right? Didn't they move? They moved into somewhere else. I kind of feel like that was not what they had hoped, if I got the impression correctly. I have been known to misread. And don't get me wrong, I don't care where I live. As long as I can be somewhat comfortable, have a place where I can, you know, a place where I can set up my computer, play video games and stream, and also have a nice bedroom where I can, you know, share some space with my lovely wife, watch some TV, maybe, you know, do a little smooching. That's all I need. No, they're spending 70%, 30%. Oh, they're still in the RV? Okay, well, with all due respect to the people I'm talking about, I was talking more in the general public, not a more esoteric group of people that we might be thinking of. I don't think they do things the same as a lot of people do. My God, what did they do to this RV? That's why we need to start working on some of the main missions. We need to get to the highest level of spray, because every level of sprayer helps to be a little bit stronger. And this is a ridiculously dirty truck. Maybe it's because I'm spraying off the rust, but still, it's like none of the other vehicles or any of the maps that we've done so far reach this level of dirt. And I guess that makes sense because that's how video games work. You progress a little bit, it gets a little harder, and then it takes a little longer. Otherwise, you know, it would be boring. That said, I don't know. I feel like we don't need some levels of realism. That said, looking real good. I can be proud of the work we're doing here. This is looking real shiny and special. Better be. But I don't know how much he's paying us for this RV. It's probably not enough. I think it's $400 for the entire thing. Is that correct? It's $200. Okay, it's $400 for everything. Maybe it's $200 for all the parts and $200 for completion. I'm still not 100% how all of that works. I just know the money shows up once I hit 5 stars. I know it's showing up while it's happening too, but I don't know if that comes out of the final, you know, payday or what. I also have a feeling I might be doing the hardest part of the RV first. Like, I'm hitting, you know, the grill where all of the rust is. So that makes sense that this is some of the most aggressive dirt. Like, this is where all the action happens. Would you want to live in an RV, Kitty? Or Smith just sent me a text. 1 second. Our drive in Miss Pebble's live stream flopped. The fans just want Esther, so we sold the car. I can't even read that. I mean, for a lot. I mean, a lot. I mean, yes, we do want a supersized lot. I mean, to upcharge for completion. I mean, technically speaking, Kitty, I could leave this job at any time. There's nothing stopping me from just getting 1 star and getting an upgrade that I need for 1 star and just absolutely bouncing. You know what I'm talking about? Also, Kitty, do you like my ghost shirt? I thought it was. I drew it and I'm like, you know what? This is adorable. I'm not feeling incredibly creative with my Halloween shirts. I've spent a lot of time decorating, you know, music and the stream in general. I haven't spent a lot of time on the old avatars t-shirts. Just a nod of, yes, it is Halloween. Thought it was a pet rock. It's a ghost. It's a ghost, Kitty. But I can see where you think it's a pet rock. Hello, Glorp. What's going on? Welcome to the world's rustiest RV. How goes life in South Hellscape? Are you safe after the hurricane? I don't think it really hit you very much, did it? I think it pretty much missed us entirely. Like all of middle Florida. And by middle, I mean Florida in general, other than the Panhandle. And with all due respect, I'm not even going to say it. I'm not even going to say it. God bless any lives that were lost. There's a bunch of flooding, but there's always a bunch of flooding. That sucks. Sometimes there's a bunch of flooding and it doesn't even rain. Glorp, have you heard about that story? There's a lady in Central Florida who decided she didn't like something in her sidewalk broke or something, or she didn't like a drain that somebody had put into her sidewalk, so she plugged it up with cement, and now her entire neighborhood floods every time it rains. I don't know if that story made it, you know, made it everywhere yet. It was like you just filled in a you filled in a drain with cement. What did you think would happen? And she doesn't seem to care. And a judge told her, "Hey, you gotta You gotta fix that now. Exactly. Yeah, it's terrible. I don't know if there's another side to that story, but I can't really think of one that justifies, you know, filling in something that's very clearly, you know, meant for drainage and what's the word? Culverts and drain systems, drain pipes, and water movement. You gotta trust the civil engineers on that one. Even if it's your property, even if you think you have the right to do whatever, sometimes you don't. Sometimes you don't. Sometimes you don't. You're not smarter than other people. Sometimes you're not the smartest person in the room. I don't know. And trust me, I think very highly of myself. I actually don't. I think I'm about average. But I know that there's a lot of things that I'm not an expert in. And I don't want to be an expert in them. Like, why would I want to be an expert of everything? That sounds awful. I'd like to be the guy who was known for that thing. Main character syndrome? I suppose. I feel like main character syndrome could be that, but main character syndrome, I know I suffer a little from main character syndrome. I think a lot of people do. A lot of people who create any form of content, a lot of people who are any form of online suffer from some form of main character syndrome. I'm not as bad as I used to be. Like, I know there's like, you know, a sincere thought in my mind of like, there's technically no way you can prove anyone else is real other than yourself, which is a wildly stupid and self-centered thought, but completely what's the word? Not unprovable. I get unrefutable. It's unrefutable. There's no proving anything. Technically speaking, if I just don't, you know, if you don't believe some, you know, if you believe, say like simulation theory, for example. I know I'm, you know, going wildly off topic here, but bear with me. Say simulation theory, for example. If you believe that you are part of a simulation, then everything that purports to be real isn't real. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to, you know, hawk simulation theory here. I'm just talking. I'm just saying. That's some part of main character syndrome. I don't really feel that anymore. The more I sort of look at the grand scope of the universe and think I am just a tiny little bug in the grand scheme of the universe. That helps a little bit of the main character syndrome. Thank you. Finally got the rusty bumper. That said, I think it's, you know, it's a lot of a human trait, I would assume. A lot of people are, you know, self-centered enough in a way to sort of consider themselves the, you know, main character, as it were. You gotta be. Your body depends on you to look out for number one in a lot of ways. Like, you need to survive, you need to eat, you need to rest, you need to take care of yourself. Your body's there to tell you, hey, look, I know you're a good person. At least you purport to think so. But at the end of the day, you need to take care of yourself. You know what I mean? I don't know. How are you, Kitty? How is your back? I know your back has been hurt. Why? Please stop drawing on your... Please stop drawing on your tires. That's just more work for the power washer. I'm starting to wonder if the vehicles in particular are going to be particularly bad to clean. They're going to be either super rusty or super coated in filth. Exactly. It's like Cranium Command. It's like, yes, as a good person, you should be looking out for everybody. But as a sapient, you know, breeding organism of a race that's trying to survive, at the end of the day, you need to take care of yourself. Just saying. Don't forget about yourself in the pursuit of making everyone else happy. It's just one of the many morals you can get here on Roarstream. You're not enjoying getting older, your back is on fire. I hear you, kitty. We need to incorporate stretching. Like, that's something I keep hearing about, like stretching, meditation. Like, we're always moving, we're always doing stuff. I was thinking the other day it was nice to actually watch a movie. We dump water on her back. We have smoke detectors. Once they go off, you know. I think it's figurative for now. I just had a random flashback to, remember, you know when you get sunburned? You know when you get really badly sunburned and your skin is like legit on fire? Like, not legit, but your skin feels like it's legitimately on fire. That is a feeling that sucks. And I do not recommend it. I haven't been sunburned like proper in a long time. I try not to, I say I try not to spend too much time outside, but as I've said many times, I like taking walks. It's good for the old fitness, good for the old wellness. It gets you outside, it gets you, you know, talking to other people. Painful and humiliating. Painful, yes. Humiliating, it shouldn't be. Why would it be humiliating? It's nothing to be humiliated about. What? Humiliating that you know, that the back is hurting? Like, what? Who? I don't even understand what there would be to make fun of. Everybody has different, you know, complications physically going on. It's like, some people have migraines, some people have back pain, some people, you know, some people have really runny noses all the time. Why didn't you put on sunscreen, dipshit? I mean, like I said, it's been a long time since I've been burned. Remember when we used to go to the Cove? 1 second, I need a drink. Remember when we used to went to the Cove and we did put on sunscreen? I didn't get burned then. You should pet a cat. I just looked at Roar TV. I'm like, wait, is there a cat on Roar TV? That is not a cat. And he is not petting. What's going on, Philanoid? You should pet a cat? I did pet a cat. I pet a cat earlier. I pet Truby. I don't remember if I saw Mark. Mark might have been in the other room. But I pet Truvy May. Yeah, anyways, remember when we went to the Cove? I didn't get burned then, and it was nice. It's nice not to get burned very much. Wow. Speaking of cats, hold on. There he is. They drew on so much of this RV. I wish they hadn't drawn on it. The marker is particularly hard to get up off of the, Don't draw on your car. It's somebody's job to clean this off, and you're not paying me that much. You're making my job actively more difficult. Is this ladder is workable, isn't it? Am I able to climb it? Nice. I'll do the roof last. Oh crap, there's a bunch of stuff in the bottom too. Are you electrocuting Finn? That's not Finn. That dog looks like a mop. Finn looks like an unruly rat. We raided the attic for all of Esther's old stuff and put it all in the vlog. It's gone bananas. Oh, has it? Oh, am I popular in the in the Powerwash sim vlog universe? And what's fascinating to me most is the telemetry. I'm getting really into analytics. Boo Aura Smith, please. Boo this woman. I am trying to work, and I don't need to be hearing about your YouTube analytics about all of your dead ants crap. We are not friends. I'm here to clean your RV, which is honestly a bigger job than I was expecting it to be. Also, I put in the Discord earlier a video of Finn chomping down on some food. The other day I took a video of Finn eating. It was fun. He's passed out next to you. Oh, he needed to take a break. He was that was a hyper dog. He needed a nap. Sometimes we forget, or at least I do, that he's just a baby. He acts like such a brat a lot of the time, and my gut instinct is to think, dude, why would you do that? You're acting like an asshole. You're making my life difficult, and you know better. And it's like, no, he doesn't. Why would he? He's a baby. He doesn't know that he's being a stupid prick. He doesn't know that he's being just a jerk. He doesn't know that he's being a monster in dog's clothing. He's just a baby. He doesn't know that everything he does sucks and that he's kind of a piece of shit. He's just a baby. He doesn't know any of those things. When you wake up in the morning and he is ecstatic just to know that you're awake, and all he wants to do is climb into your arms and just be there in the morning, that makes it worth it sometimes. I'd be lying if I said it wasn't a magical kind of feeling. Does it make up for everything? I plead the fifth. But it does a good job. I'll say that much. He is a baby. And it is a lot like taking care of a human baby. Taking care of a puppy is far more trying than taking care of even the most rambunctious kitten. Like, I've had several kittens in my lifetime. A lot of kittens. This is my first puppy ever since I was a kid. And even then, I didn't really take care of them. That was the parents' role. They took care of the puppies until the puppies were ready to go to other owners because the dog that we got my dad was she was a whore and got knocked up several times when she escaped. I'm not slut shaming over here, but those were not purebred German Shepherd puppies. I'll say that much. I think she got fixed after the second litter of puppies. How are we not 50% done on this RV yet? I'm trying to think, like, Yoshi was a kitten. Soichiro was a kitten. Mark and Seamus were both kittens. Almond was a kitten. Truvy was a kitten. I've had so many kittens. Kittens are easy in comparison to puppies. Kittens are a dream compared to puppies. Are you kidding? I know nobody asked, but I'm just saying. It's no comparison. Like, kittens have their issues, sure, but It's not. It doesn't even come close. And the more he gets older, and the more he comes into his own, you know, personality, his own way of doing things, the more I realize how very, very lucky we were with Phantom, getting him partially trained, you know, getting him a little older. He had his moments, but he was a wonderful dog. Not to say that Finn's not. He's just got a long way to go before I use the term wonderful to describe him. He's wonderfully adorable. But that's about as far as I can stretch the word wonderful. That said, he is a puppy. It was nice to be able to watch Inside Out 2 the other night, Kitty. I forgot that some movie series I actually don't mind watching. It is a serious time commitment, but so is a lot of YouTube videos we watch. He's a great companion dog. He is. The things he does, some of the things he does real well. I'll give him credit where it's due. On the plus side of this RV, there is no actual achievement to get at all. Ugh. I need a drink. How long have I been down here? Probably since 40%. I think I went down so we could see the text. I don't know, sometimes I just get so wrapped up with flicking the mouse up and down. Plus it's nice to see a movie with the kids. Agreed. I've still all of those movies on the Disney tier list that I said I hadn't seen. I am no closer to having seen any of them. And I probably just need to schedule it. Maybe I just need to schedule time to do it. But I really don't have that in my wheelhouse right now. I'm kind of focused on spooky games coming up very soon. It is coming up prime on Halloween month. And it is time for tricks, treats, goblins, all that stuff. One of these days, you will hit the slot machine, Kitty. Here, I'm going to run the slot machine. It didn't go for me either, if that makes you feel better. You know what we should do? I'm not sure how feasible this is. We should either borrow a power washer from somebody, or rent one, or hire somebody. And we need to power wash these wasp nests off the house. Is there like an attachment I can put onto the hose to do that? Like to turn the hose into an ad hoc power washer. Is this that RV from the end of, like, is this from the Up family? Like, after they've had adventures their entire life, this is the same RV? Like, they escaped a Bolivian, you know, police force in this. Always a thumb trick with the hose. I don't trust the thumb trick when it comes to spraying wasp nests. I just took out another. Hold on. Let me just paint the picture for you here. So this was the wasp nest, and I sprayed the wasp nest. And I don't know if you've sprayed wasp nests very often, but I got like definitely a direct shot. I don't know if that's Selena's cat, Kitty. I don't know where that gift came from. And there were so many wasps I couldn't see. They just kept falling and falling. There was probably a good 15 or 20 that fell straight up. And I'm just like, oh God, a panic, abort, get out. That was my thought process killing that last wasp nest. Because the problem was I got home today. I got home today and the wasps, there was like 5 of them. Is there a house? Here we go. Let's pretend this was my front door. And like right here, the wasps there was like 5 of them just sort of screwing around, just trying to build a nest on the wall. So I had to call Kitty. I'm like, Kitty, can you please come out for a second? Hold on a second. Jenny's changed too. Traded in cryptozoology for cryptocurrency. Itty bitty coin looks like I didn't see it. Looks like the next big thing if you need a tip. You don't get wasps up here? You don't get wasps at all in your state? Really? At all? I thought like everywhere had wasps. Or at least yellow jackets. Something along those lines. I kind of file all of them into the same categories. Like wasps, yellow jackets, not necessarily bees or honeybees or bumblebees. Those are different in my mind. But anything that like kind of looks wasp or hornet or yellow jacket like, I kind of put them all into the same category. You're at eternal war with wasps. Car mirrors, door frames, they're always trying to build their nest. Thank you, Coyote. That is my life right now. Coyote, I have killed so many wasps. I have killed so many wasp nests. I have so many wasp nests killed. I just looked at Roar TV. The other day, it was, I don't know if it was during the hurricane or like right after, but I took out probably at least 8 nests. I went through like a whole thing of spray. It sucked. I hate stinging insects. I have like, I wouldn't say I'm afraid of them anymore, although it's probably more accurate to say that I am. I'm more just tentatively cautious of them. I don't like think, oh, I can't go anywhere near that wasp nest. I'm going to have a panic attack. It's more like, God damn it. They built another, God damn it. Get out of the way. Move, get everyone move. I gotta take out this wasp nest. So I'm not a fan of wasps. I don't act the manliest, or whatever the PC term for that is. I don't act I'm not the most heroic when it comes to stinging insects and wasps, but I at least like to think I have the ability to spray a nest of wasps multiple times in a row. I think that that wouldn't be considered a fear. Like, I have a fear of, I forget the name of the fear. Hold on. Where's the bot? Oh, I don't even have Chrome open. 1 second. Hey, what's the name of the fear where you're afraid of being constricted and confined? Not necessarily being in a enclosed place per se, but actually being confined or constricted. They'll probably answer that, hopefully. Oh, by the way, apparently there's new AI voices for ChatGPT. Let's see if it actually uses them now. It's supposed to be more realistic. Hello? Hello?
Hey,
Ah!
the fear you're describing sounds like claustrophobia, which is generally the fear of being in enclosed or narrow spaces. However, if the fear is specifically about being restrained or constricted, it could be more specifically related to a fear of restraint or being unable to move freely, which doesn't have a widely recognized specific phobia name in psychological terms, but it can certainly be a significant anxiety trigger.
I don't like this voice.
This can be seen as a part of claustrophobia or could be considered separately depending on the individual's experiences and symptoms.
Can I have a different voice, please? Can we, hold on. That was Vale. Watch your ears. These are kind of loud.
Hi, glad to meet you.
There we go.
I think we're going to do great work together. Where should we start?
About Ember? What is Ember?
Hey, I'm ready to hit the ground running, so if there's anything you'd like me to focus on first, just let me know.
Hi there, nice to meet you. I'm excited to help you get things done. Let's get started.
I think Maple is one of the new AI voices, and she sounds the most, like, actually, you know. Can we, hear... Yeah, it's not... I'm not claustrophobic, per se. I mean, I'm in a very small closet right now. Don't tell my wife. But, I don't really like being on roller coasters for an extended period, that sort of thing. All right, this voice should be better. If this voice sucks, we'll play the Australian instead.
Got it.
Hello?
It sounds like you're more uncomfortable with situations where you're physically restrained or locked into a position for a while, like being on a roller coaster. That specific discomfort could be more about the loss of control or not being able to exit a situation at will, which is a bit different from claustrophobia. If you're looking for a term, it might simply be described as a fear of restraint or being trapped, even if it's not in a small space. Stay comfy in that closet.
I forgot I told her I was in a closet. Also, 69%. I don't like this voice. I want to go back to the Australian. Hold on. It was Arbor?
Hi, glad to meet you.
Okay, thanks, Arbor. Give me one more thing to talk about. Thanks. Do you like the ride Mission Space at Epcot? Let's see how that voice does. Nice.
I haven't been on it myself, but I know quite a bit about it. Mission Space at Epcot is known for being a pretty intense ride, simulating a space launch and mission to Mars. It has two versions, a more intense orange team experience, which includes a centrifuge that simulates the G-forces of space travel, and a less intense green team experience without the centrifuge. People who enjoy thrilling and immersive rides often really like it, but it's not for everyone, especially if you're sensitive to motion or confined spaces. What about you? Have you tried it, or are you thinking about giving it a go?
Closed or tight spaces. How about you? I'm not sure how I feel about the new voices. I think they've got some work to do. But to be fair, you know, in probably a month, it will be better, I'm sure. I read several articles today, and by that I mean I saw the titles of them and didn't actually read any more about them. But I read two things today. One, apparently ChatGPT lost $5 billion last year. And also that they intend to raise the price to $44 within the next 5 years. So, yeah, I might be cycling out my ChatGPT usage one way or another. Dig my honesty. I mean, I don't want to be called on it. Like, I didn't actually read the articles. But apparently they lost a lot of money to the surprise of almost nobody. Hey, I did my part. I paid $20 a month for a while. Definitely still am not doing so right at this time. I mean, I like having the ability to talk to the bot on stream, but I ain't paying no $45 a month for it. I ain't paying no $45 a month to have a funny bot talk to me. You wild right now. Although, actually, can't you like run a local ChatGPT style LLM? I haven't even looked into that, but if it comes down to exactly, we got to make sure that the stockholders get their value of shit. Like if it comes down to having to pay $30 or $45 a month, honestly, the amount I'm paying them is exorbitant as is. You totally can if you have a good GPU. I think I do. My stats are probably still really outdated, aren't they? Specs, I think. What the hell is that? No, that's not. Ignore that. Yeah, that's outdated. That's the old computer. I might need to look into that. I'm thinking I might phase out my ChatGPT Pro usage, maybe by the end of the year. I've given them far too much money for something that is clearly a sinking ship. And honestly, I kind of thought the price would go down, not up. Like, are you kidding me? The more, I don't know. Maybe I'm not thinking proper business-wise. But the more we get, the more knowledge we get, and the more things become easily available technology-wise, the idea that we'd have to pay double for something we already, it's insane to me. It's kind of like, okay, here's my thought process. Remember when we were using dial-up, and dial-up switched to cable internet? And when you first got cable internet, and you were like the people on the block with cable internet, and it was like, man, those people must pay thousands of dollars a month for that sweet one megabyte a second upload. The point I'm getting to is then that price obviously went down by a lot because it equalized out, like technology balanced out. Like, yeah, prices are still expensive for, getting online, but proportionally speaking, back to the olden days, I don't know. Maybe I'm talking, maybe I'm wild talking right now. Also, hi, Phelan. How you doing? Maybe I'm just being, Grandpa Simpson. We can't bust our heads like we used to over here. But I kind of feel like the technology of ChatGPT, at least the basic garden variety, should continue to go upwards, sure, and the value that you get should continue to go up if the price goes up. I understand that they're a company that has to make a profit. I'm not stupid. I know capitalism is a thing. But the idea of paying more than double for something that I'm kind of considering getting rid of as is really makes my decision a lot easier for me. That said, there hasn't been any actual evidence of that just yet, so we'll see. I thought I would get 2 things done today. I'm not even all the way done with the RV, although I think the majority of the RV is going to be the roof. I haven't even been up on the roof yet. I don't know. Maybe I'm just... Part of me just wants to be the idealistic, hey, look at Star Trek. They have the holodecks. They have the potential. And I don't think Quark is charging. But I don't know. That's probably an argument I don't want to get into. He probably charges more than the equivalent of $20 a month for his services. I probably should get up onto the roof now. Oh God, I need to clean this side. Never mind. Let me clean a little bit more of this crap, and then we will probably need to take a break soon, and then we'll head up to the roof. I'm gonna get like one thing done today. I didn't realize how ungodly rusty this terrible RV was. Once we get to 90 stars, we'll be able to get the higher power nozzle. Star Trek is the result of a very hard shift in thinking driven by the Vulcans after a full-on World War III. Fair. Quark barely registers on the bar itself most of the series. Barely breaks even on the bar itself most of the series. That presumably applies to the holodecks too. I don't know. I kind of think that they probably weren't allowed to talk much about the holodecks, at least not more than bare specific. I mean, I like to say they didn't want to, as if I didn't watch the whole series. I imagine that the execs didn't let them talk too much about the specifics of what happened in the holodecks. Like, yeah, you could use it to go have sex. But the actual depravity of the holodecks is probably what kept Quarks in business for so long. Also, Morn probably kept them in business. Remember the episode with Sexy Quark? Who could forget? I wonder if I have that as a channel. I don't think I do. I've been waiting for you. My Quark impression. I mean, he did make the mistake of... Didn't he use, like, the holodeck template for the current... like second in command of the station, who was a known terrorist? That seemed like bad news bears all day long. Or was it... No, it was Jax. Or Jadzia. I don't know. It's been a long time. Probably need to get the rest of this windscreen from over on the other side. Can I grab you? There we go. Come on. Here's where the rest of the crap is. A lot of restrictions on usages for likeness and sexual stuff. I think he tried to do it. Yeah, it was Kira, and Kira murders people. That's like the Star Trek equivalent of getting Hillary Clinton in there. You know, sorry to get political in here, but like people who have been known to be involved with murdering people. You made a sex program. Seems like a bad business move, my Ferengi friend. But, you know, they had sitcom comeuppance, like you said, like sitcom shenanigans, and he got off the hook. But honestly, my guy. He straight up kills people. Where's the left body? I probably need to get the left body from up on top. I want to get the left body and then we'll go on break. Hup. There we go. Missed like 90% of that on the background. I was saying that it was Kira who got the holodeck, right? Who they made the holodeck program of. And considering she's a known Bajoran terrorist, it seems like a bad idea to make a non-consensual sex program out of her. I don't know. I'm just talking out loud. It just seems like a bad idea. Saw a meme once that's like, they didn't even screw around with Kira. They straight up called her a terrorist, not a freedom fighter, not you know, they didn't candy coat. She just straight up did terrorism. For a good cause? You know, we'll leave that to the historians, but let's not beat around the bush. Maybe that's what I need to do in the new year. Maybe I need to re-explore some Deep Space Nine plots. Difference between a terrorist and a freedom fighter is which side you're on. I don't think she cared. I think she was just like, whatever side makes me admit that I murder Cardassians is the side I want to be on. I will be back in 3 minutes. I need to take a quick break. Be right back. I just got back from break and everyone is talking about Star Trek. What did I miss? Gotta copy and paste something real quick. There we go. Alright, I'm back.
It sounds like you missed a conversation about an episode of Star Trek Deep Space Nine, where Quark, the Ferengi bartender, creates
So
a
loud.
holographic program featuring Kira Nerys, a Bajoran officer. The episode explores the ethical and legal issues around the use of people's likenesses without their consent, especially in potentially compromising or personal scenarios. It ties into broader discussions about identity, privacy, and the consequences of such actions, both legally and socially. In the specific episode they're referencing, Quark attempts to create and sell a holographic program featuring Kira for romantic purposes, which he faces repercussions for. This scenario sets off various discussions and reveals deeper themes of consent and exploitation within the Star Trek universe. The conversation you've walked into seems to be unpacking all these layers, including the political implications and the personal ramifications for the characters involved, especially how it ties into the larger story arcs and character developments in the series.
I don't like this voice. I don't like this voice. Also, why am I still on monitor capture? I don't like this voice at all. I'm switching back to the voices that didn't suck. Was it Juniper?
Hey there.
There she is. I'm sticking with Juniper. What, that wasn't accurate? I was too busy reeling from the tinnitus from it blasting my eardrums and also not being able to hear him the rest of the time. I need to test your voice. Can you recap that into one paragraph? Watch your ears. To turn her down.
Certainly. Your colleagues were discussing a Star Trek
Colleagues.
Deep Space Nine episode where Quark, the Ferengi bartender, tries to create and sell a holographic program featuring Kira Nerys, the Bajoran officer for romantic purposes without her consent. This episode dives into ethical and legal issues surrounding the use of someone's likeness, highlighting themes of privacy, consent, and exploitation. The conversation also touched on the broader implications of such actions, including potential government and activist responses, and how it fits into the character arcs and political landscape of the series.
That seemed pretty straightforward. It seemed like it wasn't, wasn't too much blown smoke, as it were. At least whether or not, based on whether that conversation happened or not, its conclusions are up to interpretation. They drew on the roof. Why did they? Kind of adorable, actually. I'm power washing it off. I kind of feel like I don't think you should be able to make nudes of other people without their consent. I had a hot take. I had a hot take there. I don't want to throw anybody off, but I feel like you shouldn't be able to make nudes of people. It was kind of a weird premise for an episode. Like, There's a lot about the holodecks that when you think about it for more than 4 seconds is really problematic. I feel like if holodecks existed today, they would probably be extremely moderated. And then within an hour, jailbroken and modded. What was the A plot to that episode, if that was the B plot? Let's see if it gets this right. I don't have any idea, so you'll have to tell it. You'll have to tell me if it is or not. Yeah, exactly. Get consent, kitty.
In the episode of Star Trek Deep Space Nine, titled Meridian, the plot involving Quark's attempt to create a holographic program of Kira is indeed the B plot. The A plot focuses on a more mystical and emotional story involving Jadzia Dax. In the A plot, the space station encounters a planet called Meridian that phases in and out of existence every 60 years. While the planet is in the corporeal universe, Dax falls in love with a man named Diral, who is one of the inhabitants. Diral and Dax quickly develop a deep connection, and Dax decides she wants to stay with him on Meridian. However, she eventually realizes that her presence is destabilizing the planet's ability to phase back into non-corporeal existence, putting the entire population at risk. Faced with this dilemma, Dax and Diral must make a difficult decision about their future together, leading to a poignant conclusion about love and sacrifice.
So wait, if she stayed with her alien love friend, the entire planet would destabilize? Not really a hard damn decision, is it? Yeah, she can't stay. Like, I hate to sound like, the unemotional, ogre over here, but if her presence is causing the entire world, it's not what's actually happening. So meanwhile, while all this is happening, while Jadzia, or Dax, or whatever, I forget, Dax is her name, right? While she's over here falling in love and destabilizing a planet, Quark is making, his sex programs. When I choose you over the world is taken. So it's the end scene of Life is Strange. I feel like it's my Life is mission to mention the life or the end mission to Life is Strange at least once this stream. I love you more than an entire town. Prove it. Okay. What a good game that was. Life is Strange 1 anyways. Life is Strange 1 was really good. Before the Storm was a game, and Life is Strange 2 feels like it had a lot of potential. Issue was that since they couldn't fix the cycles of the planet for the next shift, they'd have to wait 60 years to be together again, so they'd have to leave to the other's world and leave the entire life behind them. Well, Jadzia can't do that. No, she's a member of Starfleet. She's got priorities and responsibilities. She can't leave. Oh, I see. That's the conflict. What else do I have left? Exhaust. Let's go grab this. You're almost done on this stupid RV. It has taken the majority of the stream. I thought the RV would be easy. I didn't realize it was a rust bucket. Yeah, once I get 90 stars, I'll be able to get the nicer spray nozzle, and hopefully we'll make it easier to get some of this dirt and crap off of everything. this end of mission wrap-up is going to be wild, whatever the GIF is. It's going to be all over the place on this RV. So I'm assuming that she didn't actually go onto the planet and he didn't leave to be with her. If I had to guess how the episode ended, which I don't remember how it ended. 1 second.
Felinoidsa says, at first Daryl is gonna go with Jadzia, but he starts realizing how much his planet's dwindled population can't really afford to lose anyone. Jadzia sees this and decides to be the one to make the leap. She goes through a million hoops in the hopes of being able to shift with the planet and stay with Daryl instead.
I'm guessing it doesn't work out. So she was willing to make the leap. To leave everything behind. That's love right there. Although, isn't she essentially immortal? More or less. Like, doesn't her bug live forever? What is brake lights? What brake lights are they talking about? Planet destabilizing is what prevents her character from leaving the show. She doesn't phase with the planet and ends up being an anchor to the plane that would tear it apart, so they beam her out. I only vaguely remember this. I much more remember the B plot of that episode, I'm going to be honest. You presume the symbiotes have a lifespan, but it's like an elf lifespan as long as she keeps getting hosts. Hey, I got a question. Do those symbiote little weirdo bug things that live inside of Dax, do they have a lifespan? How long do they live? Like, if they move from person to person, are they essentially immortal? Her first line is, yes, they are indeed fascinating. I can't wait to hear what she thinks about the symbiotes.
Yes, the symbionts in Star Trek, like the one inside Jadzia Dax, are indeed fascinating. These creatures, known as Trill symbionts, have a very long lifespan and can live for centuries. They are passed down from one Trill host to another, accumulating experiences and memories from each host. This allows them to carry a continuity of consciousness across many lifetimes, essentially making them immortal as long as they have a host. The symbiont's longevity greatly surpasses that of their humanoid hosts. As each host dies, the symbiont is implanted into a new host if it's healthy, thereby continuing its life. The process requires a compatible Trill host who has been specially trained and prepared to receive the symbiont, as not every Trill is considered suitable for joining. This unique aspect of Trill culture adds a rich layer to the Star Trek universe, exploring themes of identity, legacy, and the impact of collective experiences across different lifetimes.
The more you know. Also, the people on the planet don't age when they're phased, so that's not even a factor. Oh, well then. Well, rip to Dax then. She can't win anything. She can't win ever. I feel like we didn't really get a chance to know second Dax. I feel like they brought in second Dax and then the show was basically over. Bumper, hello? Oh, it's probably here on the end, isn't it? Bumper cleaned, now just vents. Where are the vents? Where can I find a vent? See anything blinking? Is there a vent? Grill, windscreen, bumper? I don't see a vent. Are you a vent? You're a hatch. You're a hatch. I don't see anything blinking. Maybe it's on top. Are you a vent? You are a vent. You're not a vent. You are a snort. There we go. Hey, FA, get yourself over here quick as you can. We got an urgent one for you. Do not knock on the window. Let's try it together. We're not watching this one this year. We've already seen the you know, radio station 109.1 several times, I'm pretty sure. Harper here. Just want to thank you again for gifting me the RV. Who did what now? I'm about to hit the road, heading for pastures unknown. She's so beautiful and so clean. I know you said not to, but I've sent some cash over. Who did what now? Maybe put it towards a washer upgrade? Take care, and I'll keep an eye out for any interesting jobs for you. You're the best. I don't know what they're even talking about. I got 75 stars, which means I still cannot afford a professional duty. I need 15 more stars, which means I really need to focus more on the career jobs, which means, oh God, I'm not doing the fire helicopter. I think we'll work on the fire cottage. We won't be able to finish it today. Definitely not. H&G Hexenjäger. Excuse me. We are two humble confectioners, brother and sister, living on our own deep in the woods of the national park, and there's absolutely nothing strange about that. We are also the creators of the finest gingerbread ever to grace the country, but to stay on top, we need constant reinvention, and our dream forest home has become a grubby gato, affecting our ability to dream up wonderful new recipes. Can you come and restore our cottage, and with it, our creative flow? Danke! Sure. Daryl is going to pop out in 60 years to a Starfleet team stabilizing his son and find out that not only Dax fell in love with someone else like 1 year after he met her, married them, and then died in less than 5 years after he met her. I mean, what did he expect? I kind of feel like he kind of had to expect that she wasn't going to wait for him, right? At that point, there's only so much. There's only so much hope you can have. It's kind of like, you know, Tom Hanks in Castaway. It's like, yeah, he really hoped that Helen Hunt would wait for him. But even Tom Hanks was like, yeah, that makes sense. I was gone for 4 years. After 60, it's like, ooh. I love how every single thing I clean in this game is just absolutely filthy and disgusting. Like, can't something just be marginally gross? You probably think she'd take years to marry and then still be around as an old woman to say hi and then maybe rob the cradle. I would hope he wouldn't think that. I'm like, look, you missed the boat. Okay, look, I'm sorry that love didn't work out for you, but when she didn't make it in, when she ended up not being the anchor, you had to let her go. And I think she knew that too. It's like, well, not getting with that guy. That portal is gone in more ways than one. In the Star Trek Voyager fan fiction, Tom Paris waited, oh God, how long was it? I think it was like 3 days. Actually, no, it was like 3 months. I want to say it was like 3 months before he started dating the Delaney sisters. And B'Elanna was very upset that he only waited for 3 months. If I recall my lore correctly, that freed B'Elanna up to go out with Lauren Rowe. Who, if I recall, is Glorp's favorite character. For all we know, Jadzia could be in a new body by then, in a brand new Klingon body. Ro Loren? Yes, her. Is that what I'm... Sorry. It was something like that. Lauren. Look, I read it. Okay, it's a well-known saying because I say it all the time, and I'm well known by me. If somebody misspells something, not misspells. If somebody doesn't say something right, it's because they read it, and you shouldn't give shit to people that read. Reading is important. Quite frankly, I think this house is going to be easier to clean than the RV was. At least the house isn't rusty. Like, yeah, it's gross, but generally when someone says something wrong, it's because they don't care. I wholeheartedly disagree. I think that could be the case, yes, but I can only speak for myself. When I say that if I say something like definitive, like I used to call chocobos chocoboos. For decades, I would call them chocoboos. Because I'd only read it. I don't know how you say the word chocobo. I don't know. I don't, I'd only read it. And I didn't do it out of some, ignorance. I just, we just hadn't known how to say the word, or hadn't, really heard the word very much out loud. Oh good, the mold is so encrusted into the window of this house. That's actually a prime example of only doing it because you didn't care. What do you mean? No, it's not at all. I cared a lot about chocobos. I like chocobos. But if you only have Final Fantasy III in the grand year of 1994, and you only have Nintendo Power, which only spells Chocobo. There's only one O at the end of Chocobo. Look, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to say. You just make an assumption when you're younger, and you just roll with it. Now, once I learned that that's how you say that's not how you say the word, I made a conscious effort to fix it. Means you didn't even care enough to read it. That is an assumption. Making assumptions. Assumptions are bad. You can only say that if I continued to say chockaboo. It sounds weird to say it now. The point is, it's, sometimes you make an assumption about a word. You don't necessarily need to go to the dictionary to make sure you're pronouncing it exactly right, just to be able to know the word in your head. Because you don't know how English... I know exactly how English works. And the fun thing about English is that even if you don't spell it right all the time, English is so fluid that you generally get the idea. It's amazing. Yeah, I know, Glorp. I need to update them. We were talking about AI for a hot minute, and I was thinking, like, aren't people able to run LLMs on their own machines? And if GPT, don't you have a 4070? I don't even remember how to look that shit up. I probably just need to put the link to the computer I had, like the computer I bought Maybe I did in the Discord. Did I in the Discord? Hold on. Nope. Lauren Rowe. Well, I didn't know, you know. I'm going to be real. I don't really have a huge emotional connection to that character one way or another. She was kind of in the way of the story of Janeway and Seven of Nine. I also just realized that the fence around the property needs to be done as well. No, I am under the firm belief that if you misspeak a word or mispronounce a word out of pure ignorance, that it becomes a very cheap shot. It becomes a very cheap shot if that's all there is. Like, look, clearly people misspeak. If you're doing it out of stubbornness, then yeah, you're kind of dumb. But sometimes you don't know exactly how things are pronounced. I don't know if that's, necessarily the same thing as chocobos or chocobos or chocoboos or. It was like, remember when I used to call pizza, I used to call pizza, and that was out of stubbornness. But I did make a conscious effort to change it, and now I only call it pizza. That's what I'm talking about. I'm like, if you're just being stubborn, then there's, better ways to make your point than to just call something wrong, for no reason. It's kind of why I like doing audiobooks as opposed to actually reading these days, because then there's no confusion. Then it's, hey, the narrator just told me what the word is, how the word's supposed to sound. It's like, oh, okay, well that they spoke in a Swedish accent. It's like, if I wasn't actually hearing them do the accent, then, I'd probably forget about it or be like, the accent isn't important in my, isn't as important as getting the gist of the story. There are plenty of examples of people getting words wrong because it's wrong. Chimera versus chimera. I think, isn't it chimera? I want to say your current PC is the previous version of the next. Yeah, I think you're right. With the 4070, that should be able to, like, if I was saying earlier that I read a story that apparently GPT, to the surprise of absolutely no one, lost like $5 billion literally this year, and they're planning to raise their prices to like $45. So I'm thinking if that happens, I'm not going to pay $45 a month for pretty much goddamn anything. With very few exceptions. Now it's chimera, not chimera. Who? What? No, I refuse to believe anyone calls it a. Well, actually, no. I do actually believe that. The most annoying thing are the people who intentionally do it for engagement bait, so they get hundreds of comments correcting them. That's cheap engagement bait. Ugh. That's something you can get wrong trying to pronounce how it's spelled. Yeah, I tend not to give anyone a lot of crap for on how they pronounce things unless they're just being deliberately belligerent. Like, again, hate to be, political, but calling Vice President Kamala, like, just to be a bitch. It's like, that doesn't sound clever. You sound like a bitch. You sound terrible. At $44, they'll only need 10 million subscribers to pay off the amount. I'm willing at this time to keep my current subscription, but if they start raising the price dramatically, yeah, I'm a bounce. I'm a bounce. I don't like it that much. Yeah, that's not what I'm talking about, Feel Annoyed. If you're doing it on purpose to be stupid, that's a whole different can of beans. That's not what I'm talking about. I don't even want to read what they said. You can read it behind me if you want. Like for example, when I called them Chocoboos, I wasn't doing it because, you know, because that's the way I wanted to pronounce it. I'm doing it because that's the way some arbitrary day when I was like 10 or 12 or whatever, it was decided that that's what the birds were called. Once again, you're not reading, as that's not my point. About not, what do you mean? House is looking real good. This house is pretty big too, because this one's only 22% done. I try not to mispronounce things in general. The point is how many people have even bothered pronouncing how to look up her name before they choose the candidate. I mean, I didn't. I think a lot of people aren't going to, which, you know, isn't necessarily a good thing, but that's human nature for you. I mean, I learned pretty quick that there was a way to pronounce it once, you know, once the people who suck pronounce it a certain way for a while, and then there are a lot of people who are like, they really shouldn't pronounce it that way. This is the way they should pronounce it. Then it's like, oh, okay, well, yeah. I guess I will do it the correct way then. No one even cared what the proper pronunciation of her name was until she was more important. I don't even know if she... I mean, I probably would assume she does care how her name is pronounced. But I think it's less... And again, this is speculation. I would assume it's less that she cares how her name is being pronounced, more than why would you pronounce it wrong on purpose? Like, that's just... You're not being clever. It's not clever. It's not particularly inspired trolling. Being able to pronounce words wrong on purpose, good job. Well, I don't... What do you... No, but, you know, I was springboarding. I'm not sure what your point is beyond that, then, to illuminate me. I might have missed the segue, Illinois. I'm actually not entirely sure how to pronounce it right because I don't hear her talk very often. I just know people pronounce it wrong. It's supposed to be, I think how she says it, think of caramel, right? Like caramel? Like it's supposed to be Kamala. The wrong way is Kamala, like Kamala. Well, then I don't know where you. Then tell me where you're going with it, Illinois, because I don't. I know that we were talking about mispronouncing a word. Or a like we were talking about mispronouncing Ro Loren or whoever her name was, the person in Star Trek whose name I don't care about. What didn't she end up being a traitor? Didn't she end up going to the Maquis? You know. Hate to get hot and political with my fantasy politics, but didn't she end up like betraying the Federation? That's usually more about people caring or not. What's that way up there? Oh, it's a weather vane. That's cool. They just stopped writing her character when the actress quit. I know when I read the fanfic that she ended up being on Voyager, I think. I don't know if that happened in reality. She was supposed to be Kira, but she didn't want to be in that. Oh, really? Well, that makes more sense then. I mean, I hate to paint the Maquis as a bunch of damn domestic terrorists, but you know, if the shoe fits. And I'm not giving the Cardassians any credit either, but like the Cardassians are bad, but Maquis did some pretty bad stuff, if I recall. Domestic terrorism is inflicting it in your own group. I mean, they were for a while, weren't they? Weren't they considered sort of Starfleet rebels? Like, they were still operating in Starfleet space. I don't know. I guess terrorism would be more accurate, but they're kind of like... They did none of those things? How so? Did they not? They were operating in the Starfleet space that was given to Cardassians. Did they not do raids on the Federation as well? I was under the impression that they also went after the Federation for supplies. Not in violence. No, they didn't? Alright. Well, I stand corrected then. What did that one guy do? The one guy everyone hated from Deep Space Nine. Their beef with Starfleet was giving up their colonies to the Cardassians and not supporting them committing terrorism against the Cardassians. Eddington, yeah, him. Eddington's reign involved much shit towards the end, but he was very much a blip. Maybe I'm thinking Eddington. I'm prioritizing his actions more than the rest. That might be. What they did do was steal Starfleet ships and weapons or something. Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking, right? Like, they did steal a bunch of shit. Which, you know, whether justified or not, you said very much a blip, Illinois. That is what you said. I know that you said some in the beginning, but then you went into very much a blip, and that's why I said much. The much where I said some. Yeah, I've also got 2 conversations and a power wash going, so excuse me if I'm... Also, I've been awake for many hours. Anyways, they all got genocided out of existence by the Founders' invasion. Oh, that's true. Yeah, they all died anyway, so... It's like, we didn't have to worry too much. Everything sort of worked itself out at the end. Remember that one episode of Voyager where everyone got emails from home, and Harry got the email about his parents being sad about his clarinet, and everyone got really happy messages, and Bellana was like, all my friends are dead. That sucks. And that went on for like a week. Loren was supposed to tie into the stories of the Bajorans and Starfleet, and the actress said no, so they just stopped writing for her. I mean, yeah, if you don't want to work with the writers. What happened on the back of this house? What is this? You homeowners have something you want to tell me going on the back of your house? Looks like you're it looks like there's a bank robbery graffitied onto the back of your house. You're watching Voyager in a group and it's bad. I like Voyager. I don't know if it's particularly good, but I think Voyager is a good show. I don't know if it's a good Star Trek, but in fact, maybe I'll even take it down a notch. I think Voyager is a fun show. We're up to the episode of Tuvix next. I mean, Tuvix is an episode, that's for sure. Was Tuvix before 7? I feel like Tuvix was. Total actions against Starfleet by the Maquis. Eddington steals some replicators. Eddington defends himself against the Defiant multiple times. Eddington sets and executes a trap against Starfleet that's also specifically hunting him. Oh, I didn't realize Tuvix was that early. Alright, well maybe my Maquis aggression should be focused on Eddington instead. I remember him doing a lot of crap, and then, you know, the Maquis happened in Starfleet, and everything's like, well, Maquis are hiding out again, we need to go track down the Maquis, and you sort of get it in your head, well, the Maquis must be the bad guys. Voyager is best enjoyed as an unintentional parody of Star Trek. Voyager gets really weird in the last 2 seasons, and that's speaking as a Voyager apologist. Voyager goes through a lot of different variations. Like the first 3 seasons of Voyager are very by the book, you know. We're Star Trek, we're doing new things, we're trying cool stuff, we're doing different things. And then they decided they wanted boobs, so they found Jerry Ryan and convinced her to go onto the show and got rid of Kes. And then they ran out of some ideas, so they did a whole bunch of Borg and Doctor episodes. Always Borg and Doctor episodes. Keep getting surprised by Threshold being in season 2. Have you seen Threshold yet, Glorp? Threshold is the dumbest episode. Kim has been kidnapped again? Yeah, that happens. One of my rules for whenever I used to look up Star Trek episodes, like just look at random ones, which I haven't done in a long time, was anytime I open up the episode and they end up being in some sort of space dungeon, I instantly close it and move on to the next episode. Nothing is ever gained by watching the episode where they go around and try and escape from a space dungeon. It's like, oh my god, get me back on the ship. Threshold is non-canon. That's true. Is the episode of Star Trek Threshold where the lizards boinked, is that not considered canon? I did not say blinked, I said boinked, fucked, had sex. You know what I mean, not blinked. Voice terrible.
Ah, you're referring to the Star Trek Voyager episode titled Threshold. This episode is indeed infamous among Star Trek fans due to its unusual plot. In the episode, Lieutenant Tom Paris breaks the Warp 10 barrier, which supposedly allows him to occupy all points in the universe simultaneously. However, as a side effect, he undergoes a rapid and bizarre evolution into a lizard-like creature. Captain Janeway, who also undergoes the transformation after being exposed to the same conditions, and Paris eventually mate in this evolved form. Threshold is often criticized for its scientific inaccuracies and odd storytelling choices. Despite being an official episode of the series, many fans and even the show's staff, including the series producers, have disavowed it. Brandon Braga, one of the episode's writers and a producer on the show, has referred to it as a royal, steaming stinker. While technically canon since it was aired and is part of the series, Threshold is often jokingly omitted from discussions or regarded as an outlier in the Star Trek universe due to its controversial and widely panned content. It stands as an example of how even popular shows can miss the mark with certain episodes.
When I saw Threshold for the first time, I didn't really think a lot of it. I didn't think it was a particularly inspired episode, but I just kind of, whatever. It changed how the physics works in different shows. I mean, the fact that they broke the warp barrier, like they broke warp 10, that's kind of a big deal for that period of Star Trek. Like, if they changed it later, not so much, but during that period of Star Trek, breaking the warp 10 barrier was a huge deal. I never considered myself an enormous Trekkie, and even I knew, you can't break warp 9.99 whatever. They effectively retconned by changing what breaking the warp barrier does, so that episode didn't happen. I mean, you say it didn't happen, but there's definitely a lizard pairing out there between Captain Janeway and, Tom Paris. Like, we saw it. We can't unsee those two walking away from their nest with a big old egg there. Also, I like how they were like, we were able to somehow hand wave us back. Like, the Doctor was able to hand wave us back into humans. That's the thing that was really stupid. It was like at the end of the episode, it's like, thank God our holographic Doctor was able to de-evolve us back into humans. And it's like, come on. Come on. Personally, one of the things that stood out to you about Threshold back in the day was the frankly heinous, disfigured voice that Paris does. Remember when he turned into a lizard? Like, not a real lizard, but remember when he, turned into the little gremlin, halfway? Then he ended up turning into a real lizard, and then the boinking happened. But, remember when he was just, one of the humanoid lizard people? It was a terrible episode. What was your favorite episode of Voyager? I know what mine is. Mine is that episode where Voyager gets stuck in that planety? Where that planet's time gravity well or whatnot. Where salamanders are not lizards. I mean, technically they're neither. Technically they're aliens. So, I mean, if we want to get technical. They're just, lizard salamander analogs. Also, guys, I saw an Anole lizard today. I haven't seen an Anole lizard in forever. I don't know how to pronounce it properly, so I'm just going to say both. An Anole lizard. I haven't seen the green Anole in a long time. I'm just going to switch back and forth every time I say it. I did learn on the Wikipedia today that apparently the green anoles can also be brown, and it's like, well, okay. That's a little confusing then. It's like, so some of these lizards I've been seeing might have been green anoles, but they just happen to be brown. Anyways, the episode of Voyager I really like is the one where the planet gets stuck in the in the planet's gravity well, and they end up like being in the planet's entire history. Blink of an Eye, I think, is the name of the episode. The bright green anoles are mostly east side of the state. I'm not. Did I took a picture of it, right? I did. Here he is. Look at this little guy. Look at this little guy. Anulas. I think the brown ones have like entirely taken over. They can just better out, they can better compete. I think they came from like the Caribbean, I want to say. I mean, I like all lizards. Lizards are great, but I love the native Floridian ones. Way too highbrow for Roar. You said it. Hey, I'm a country yokel. I did done see me a big old green lizard on some tree. How do I say what the Wikipedia called green anola in a way that will impress my mama sister? You're not sure you've seen an episode of Voyager you like yet? There were some good ones.
If you're looking to dazzle your mama sister with some highfalutin talk about that green critter you spotted, you might want to call it by its fancy scientific name, Anolis carolinensis. That's sure to raise some eyebrows. You could say something like, I reckon I saw a genuine Anolis carolinensis perched right up on a tree branch. That'll make it sound real scientific and impressive.
I love the fact that ChatGPT does not call me out on my shit anymore. If I ask it a really stupid question, it will almost always answer it. It might not be right. It might do the same stupid shit ChatGPT always does, but it will always answer the question. And I do respect that. Like, it won't say, as an AI, I can't answer your question. It at least will give me something. I told it to call my baby sister mama, and it actually responded. Like, that is the future right there. You could boil the ocean for that. Who cares? Everything's dying anyways. The stupid one where the doctor has to go to Viking times. The doctor struggling with giving himself a name. I mean, my favorite Doctor episode, I don't want to spoil things for Glorp. Probably the one where he gets reactivated and Voyager's like long left him. like Voyager's long since gone the fuck home, and the Doctor gets reactivated. Oh, Beowulf. I remember that. I like the Beowulf episode. That was kind of fun. Kind of silly. A bit of holodeck slop, which I kind of find, while usually adorable, a bit weak stories. It's a very cheap story. It's like, how can we do this fan fiction of something that's popular, like Beowulf, with the characters we know and love? Are they fun episodes? Yes. Do I like those episodes? Absolutely. Are they the most clever episodes I've ever seen in my life? I think the Beowulf one was more creative than the next gen. Remember when they had to go and be like the merry men of Robin Hood? Is it a good episode? Sure. But come on, this is a fan fiction. You're giving me a Star Trek fan fiction. Merry Man episode wasn't a holodeck episode? It wasn't? Is it a Q episode? They're basically the same thing. You find me a rational difference between a Q episode and a holodeck episode, and I'll show you a shiny gold penny. Those are essentially the same episode. And I like both of them. I'm not trying to give shade, but a Q episode and a holodeck episode, that's pretty much the same thing. I'm gonna get to 50% and then we'll call it an evening. I do need to go to work tomorrow. There's no safeties to fail in the first place and a directing intelligence. Fair. But at the end of the day, something that was supposed to be happening is wrong, and we're going to use a popular 20th century trope to convey our point. Remember the Q episode of Voyager, where they had to do Civil War reenactment? It was the Q continuum was the Civil War, like. This is the best way for you to understand, Catherine. It's like, come on. You just wanted to do a Civil War episode. Let's be real. Again, not complaining. But let's not insult our intelligence here. Also, I like how they've explained the Q continuum in like 15 different ways, and they're all more confusing every time. It's like the Q continuum is a rest stop. The Q continuum is a Greek goddess, you know, a temple. What was the shiny thing you're gonna give me? Trying to see, do I have anything shiny? There you go. That's a little shiny. Oh, actually, I have something really shiny. Here you go. I can summon something very, very shiny for you. Are you ready? Here it comes. I hope that was everything you wanted it to be, feeling like. I finally found a good train. Oh, that is 50%. Alright, what does that sound? Train with Mother Matt. It was extremely shiny. I've already seen this Roar TV channel. I don't know what you're doing, Willow. You're pissing me off is what you're doing. I need to go to sleep. Obsidian? Thank you. Alright, that was fun. We are not doing any more Powerwash for the rest of the month. We are doing spooky games until November. So we will be back on Tuesday with The Void, followed by, we will be playing Slay the Princess shortly after that. Are you dying now? The stream is dying now? Oh, that's exciting. I'm going. Bye.
Thanks for your time. Have a good day.